Hi everybody, welcome to another video from Let's Stats Gaming Live, and today, as you can see, I am playing Kerbal Space Program and I am about to land on the moon. This was only supposed to be a test run, but it was going so well that I decided to just go for it. And as you can see, I am 5,000 meters above the lunar surface, but because I wasn't expecting to land this craft, I wasn't recording this from the beginning, so I will now cut this video right about here and go back to show you my launcher, show you the details of my ship, and show you how I got until how I got here. So let's cut this and go back to the start. So you've seen that I got to the moon, but you didn't see how I got there because I wasn't expecting to get there, so I wasn't recording. So I will now launch my ship again, just for you to see the launch, and this time making sure that I am recording it. And this is the capsule that you were just seeing, and let's make a dramatic zoom out. And this is the ship that launched, and as you can see, it's very tall, and that created a problem. As you can see, the lander legs are a bit weird because I wanted to use this nuclear engine, and the because I'm playing career, and the legs that I had were not good enough for this design, so I improvised using these, and these are actually much stronger than the actual legs that exist on the game for landers. So this is, I think, I'm not going to spoil it because you haven't got to that part of the footage yet, but I think this is going to work. What initially didn't work was the launcher. Because this is so tall, this had a very hard tendency to bank either left or right on the last try. On the last few tries, it always banked to the left, and I solved that by installing these wings here. I installed these wings here. It got me much more control of the craft during the atmospheric part, and well, that enabled me to launch it to out of orbit, and after that I don't need the wings anymore, of course. And actually, after the thickest part of the atmosphere, you don't need these anymore. And because I didn't knew when I was going to eject them, I put them here on this last stage. And what I did next, and I'll actually have to do that again because I don't think I saved it. I create an action group, and if you don't use action groups, people that are just starting normally don't use action groups, and they are actually they are fantastic. They allow you to do stuff that you can't do otherwise. For example, releasing all these at the same time at any point you want, so you don't have to follow an order. So I can just put them here on the last stage, but at any time I can hit the number 2 on my keyboard and all these will fly away. So yeah, let's launch this again. Let me save it this time, and I hope it's more stable with these wings, but it's not perfect. So let's hope that I can now actually launch it. because it's not guaranteed to work. Not at all, unfortunately. I have to improve my launch vehicle, and it will be easier to do once I have better engines to put on this stage, because I'll need less of them, and that will allow me to make a better ship. Okay, so SAS is on. I actually have more than one on the ship to make it fly better. And I have another action group on the on this ship actually, to turn on and off these three engines, and you'll see how I use that in a bit. So let's fire away. As you know, it's going to be pretty loud, so I'll try to stay quiet for a little bit, and if I have to speak, speak a little louder. So these jet engines are awesome for this part. So using this action group, I first disabled this main engine, and then using my number one, I can alternate like this, which is pretty awesome. I can with one button change this. And this is good because you don't want to exceed a certain velocity at this height, so I don't want to go over 200. And now I will power this down a little bit. Now, as we are getting out of the thickest part of the atmosphere, I will have to shut all engines down so I can decouple these and now fire them up again. Because those engines are atmospheric, they need air to function. I can't let them reach the non-air part of the thinnest part of the atmosphere, because they'll just flame out and make my ship uncontrollably spin. So you have to detach them before they stop functioning. And now this will end, and I should actually be working on my orbit a very long time ago, but I wasn't, because I was distracted talking to you. But on the original launch, of course, that I was at this time looking at my orbit. And what I do is let it go until this reaches 100,000, and then completely cut the engines. I still have fuel, so that's okay. And the launch was actually very stable this time, which is good. So we are reaching the orbit that I want, and now I'll just cut the engine and plan a maneuver here for a round orbit. Yeah, that's way too much. So this is, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And this is a very stable orbit, so that was a good job. Actually, I think it's much better than the real one. So I'll now just let it go until I reach, because this burn is estimated to be 1 minute, I'll get it until the 30-second mark to start. This turns really slow right now, and this engine is almost out of fuel, but this is what you'll do. You align with that point over there and now burn. And this is a very crappy alignment, but okay, it's better now. Engine's gone, and another one fires up. That will fall down back, and I also don't need these anymore, so I will just eject them and they will also fall back towards, so I don't create an enormous amount of garbage around my orbit. And well, I will of course get this into orbit, and then I will well, I'll now cut back to the place where I was when I started this video. So now you see how we got here, and let's proceed with the launch. Of course, I will not try to fool you. This is not live commentary, because as I said before, I was not expecting to land this, so I wasn't ready to record and to make my usually awful commentary, but I had the recorder software running on the background anyway, so I just hit my shortcut and started recording the footage so I could then make this video. Well, you see the lander is weird. I talked a little bit about that on the previous bit. It's weird, but actually it's these struts are stronger than the legs, so which is good, because as I told you, I've never landed a manned pod on the moon, and well, because these legs, these handmade legs, are stronger than the regular legs, that means I will probably have an easier time landing this. Well, actually it means that I can land pretty hard and survive. So as you can see, I am doing an awful job of trying to land this, which, coming from me, is to be expected. And I think I'm still up, touchdown, and second touchdown, and third touchdown, and fourth touchdown, and so on. And the ship actually stopped, and I'm on the moon, and this is me shaking my mouse, expressing my happiness for landing a manned pod on the moon for the first time. I had previously landed oh, and this is a pretty shot. I went for the pretty shot here, so Kerbals magazines got a few good photos, and this is me making some science. I cut that part because since I'm playing career, I need the science points to get more parts for my ships. So this is why I came here. I came here for science, and well, this is why we do it in real life. That's why we go places on the universe, and the first step on the moon was a faceplant, as you can see. And this is Bob. Bob is pretty happy to be on the moon, and he doesn't even care that he hit his face straight away. And now I'm going to take some soil samples and make EVA reports so I can get some more science points out of this. And well, what I thought immediately is, okay, I am here. What do you do when you go on to the moon, or when you go to any foreign planet? Well, you plant a flag. So I started planning where I was going to plant a flag. I was looking that way, but that was way too high. So there's a small hill on this side, and I decided to go plant the flag there. I at this time am trying to figure out how to use my jetpack, but failing, as you can see. But Bob is pretty happy walking around on the moon. So here I am, just looking around and trying to understand how the hell do I turn on the thrusters on the backpack, and there you are. So after hitting a couple of keys, I managed to enable the thrusters. And so I was going to aim for the top of this hill and plant a flag here. As you are about to see, that went wrong pretty fast. And well, let's just wait for it. I was going to land here, but I hit the ground pretty hard, and I started to slide down this hill. Now, I urge you to take a look at the EVA clock, that it's now at 3 minutes, because if you don't know this, on KSP, when your Kerbal starts sliding, you can't stop it. And now I've got it to the end of the slide, which is at 7.5 minutes. So as you can see, I am now 2 kilometers away from the lander, because I slided from the top of this hill for 4 minutes, and it was the most boring and at the same time hilarious thing I have ever seen. I first tried all the available keys to try to stop Bob from sliding. Yeah, and here he is again, sliding on his face. No key could help me, so I just sat back and relaxed and watched as Bob slided for 4 minutes and almost 2 kilometers. So now I am trying to fly back to my ship carefully this time. Well, not actually, but I just didn't want to be left without EVA propellants and have to walk for 2 hours to get back to the lander. That would suck so much. So as you can see, this hill is pretty steep on this side, And the whole 4 minutes that I was sliding down this hill, I was doing it on my face. So, well, Bob was doing it on his face. So that added to the uh, comic side of things. He went to the moon and he stared at the ground for 4 minutes. Okay, so we are almost at the top of this hill, and of course, because I had never used these, I had never done an EVA on another planet, I suck at it, and I wanted to stop here, but no, that's not going to happen. So I am going to skid on my face again for a long while, and now I'm getting frustrated, and I'm starting to call Bob names. And look, this spin was that was pretty. Oh, Bob. Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob. Just stop it. Stop it. Okay, so at this point I decided that I'd rather not risk it and go back to the lander to refill my EVA propellant, and well, I was starting to find out that the most efficient way of travel on the moon is by skidding on your face, so I did it again, and well, let's stand up again, Bob, and I continued slowly towards my ship, but I got impatient and then I face planted again. I don't know if anyone can use this EVA thing properly, but I sure can't. Well, I have to train harder, probably on a flatter surface. Well, at this time, something you can see on my lander is that there are no stairs, or, well, there's no ladder to get there. So even though I'm terrible with the EVA backpack, I have to use it to re-enter the lander. I did this because I had no ladder that was, well, long enough. I don't know if there is one that is long enough for this design. So because of that, I just, well, didn't had one, and here I am fighting to control my backpack again and trying to re-enter the capsule. This is one of the parts of this mission that I was concerned about getting back on the capsule, but I did it, and I stored my the science points that I got, and I beamed them back to Earth, and then I got some more. So I got out again because I did not gave up on my brilliant idea to go to the top of this hill and plant a flag there. So eventually, as you can see, I got this because I was much more careful this time, and I walked a lot more than I flew, and I got here, planted the flag. I didn't knew that you got to name the site where you landed, so I had no name planned, and in homage to the 4 minutes and now more that I spent skiing on my face, I decided to make the name relative to that, but I didn't want to embarrass Bob, so instead of calling it Hill of Face Ski, I called it Hill of Face Sky. So it's relative to space, but it's also relative to faceplants. So here landed the first Kerman, and I took a while deciding what I was going to write here, because this is a momentous occasion. First time a Kerman was out of his own planet and on another one. Well, this is not a planet, it's a moon, but okay. So I finally decided on, and there was a typo there, but okay. No, not important. It's not like I'm going to go back here. Or am I? That would be a cool mission. Going back to the same place and face skiing for for 4 minutes. That will be very, very frustrating. So I had now placed my flag and I was going to get back to my lander. That took me a while because I skied again, and I went past the lander, then I went back up and I skied uphill past the lander again, and I was starting to get frustrated. So here I am getting my last few points of data, and now I think I am going to relaunch this into space. There we go. And there is my flag, as you can see. And also, as you can see, I landed on a very, very rough portion of the moon. A big, big crater. So I'm going straight up until I get some altitude. Look at that, look at the planet rising on the horizon. That's a fantastic image. And now I'm starting to get the ship into an orbit. You will see that because I was, well, I landed not on a... I was not on the axis. I cut my engines now and I start planning my orbit burn. So my orbit insertion, and here I am making my burn. As you can also see, I cut the most boring parts because a Kerbal Space Program has a lot of waiting, and you don't want to see a video of me waiting to do something. So I am making my burn here till I get an orbit. It's a very, very different orbit than the moon is around Kerman. So the orbit, my flight path to go from the moon to the back to the planet is going to be weird too, but you will see that in a minute. So I am now just waiting for my real orbit to match, well, sort of match my planned burn, and then I will cut my engines using the X key, like right about now. So the orbit is not very good, but it's good enough to for me to be able to plan my next step, and this is my next step. Oh, and if you paid close attention, you will see that there's a lander on the moon stationed there. It's not manned, it's a probe that I land there for science, and I use those science points to be able to construct this ship that you saw here and the launcher that you saw in the start of the video. So this is now my next planned burn, and I will do it immediately, and you will see that I am not going to orbit the planet. I aimed straight at it, and so I'm going to kind of intercept it. I'm not going around it, I'm just going to hit it. So this burn is longer. There's still 600 meters per second to raise my speed. And my orbit is changing, as you can see now, but it's changing only slightly. But in a few minutes, when I get enough speed to get out of the gravitational force of the moon, it will start changing wildly. "400 meters per second. Okay, now the change is much more pronunciated and almost there. The orbit is perfect when we stop having periapsis, so that means that I will hit the planet and not fly past it. There, that's what I'm looking. So I clicked it so it would retain the value. So 2 million kilometers, meters, that's meters, and 1 million. So let's continue this burn. 500, 400, 200, and now 0, and cut the engines. Okay, so this means that I don't have to do anything else, and I will hit the planet. So let's speed this up. Let's speed it up a lot. Okay, and as you can see, there are some spacecraft orbiting the planet. One manned and one not. And they are on weird orbits. Because I had some trouble getting, well, a good orbit when I was starting. I can now do a much better job of it, and now I am very close to the planet already. I am, well, getting rid of the legs. They serve their purpose, but the craft is way too heavy to land with these legs. So 60,000 meters, and we are going through the toughest part of re-entry now in a while. And we are going very, very fast because, well, I didn't orbit around the planet, so my speed is tremendous, but I'm going to slow down a lot, and I'm going to touch down on land, which is cool. So of course I had on board some surface samples of the moon, so I can get a lot of extra science points. Let's see. So parachute deployed, well, partially deployed, and that went well because it's still attached, and now it's fully deployed and it's still attached. That means that the mission will probably be successful, and here is the pod with the batteries attached and the antenna attached, the solar panels attached, the thermometers, and all that things that allowed me to carry this mission. And the batteries say Batman. If you haven't ever take a closer look at them, yeah, they say Batman. And the temperature is 6.7 degrees, and since I am landing on the Caribbean Islands, I am gathering some data reports also. As you can see back there, some of the pieces of the lander survived, so they are really strong. Almost on the ground, and Bob will whoa, Bob is very happy to be back home, and I'm taking some temperature readings, but my thermometers have already data stored from the moon, so I don't want to get rid of that. I had one thermometer that had repeated data, so I was going to get rid of that data so I could take a reading out of the temperature here and beam it back. And you can see the antenna deploying there. Because science is very important when you are playing a career game. So this is an EVA report taken also here on the ground. I also did this because, well, Bob was very happy to get back home, and he wanted to smell the air again. So I just ended this mission. I had a lot of fun doing it, and this is all the science of the things that I got back. I got much more science than these 123 points because I also beamed a lot of the information through radio back. Thank you for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more videos. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Bye everybody.